Day for all people. I am Abroz Nurmatov.
Kan
I
Milo.
am from Uzbekistan, and now I'm studying in the Faculty of European Studies. Before I graduate Tashkent State University of Law, and now in Italy I am proceeding my education on law field. So from 2019, I am taking part in many MUN conferences, and till now I took part in more than 75 MUN and MUN related conferences. And in my opinion, MUN conferences actually helped me to open myself, to show, how can I say, to show my another sides of talent which I didn't know about it. And by MN conferences, I developed my public skills, public speaking skills, critical analytical thinking, and moreover, MN conferences related my profession, so law. And not only for law, it has a relation also for diplomacy and politics. And I think actually these conferences became my part of my life.
Introduce myself then, I guess, for the sake of this interview-ish, sort of. Hello, everyone. My name is Shafiq, and I am currently an undergraduate student studying at the 10 November Institute of Technology in Surabaya, majoring in ocean engineering. And I've had my MUN career for over 3 years as of now. I've started first back in 2019 before the pandemic. So I attended my first offline MUN in Bali in August of 2019. My first council was of SOCOM. I still remember we talked about the issue of the rights of indigenous peoples back then. And moving on forward, I started joining my first UNSC, and lately I've been getting addicted to UNSCs, and I just can't get enough of high-pol MUNs here. All right. So how is this going to work, Abror? Oh, all right then. Right. So it's me asking you questions, right, Abror? It's from us. Okay. Okay. So our first question is, how did you first get into MUNs?
Yes, it's an interesting question. My first MUN was in 2019. But I guess my first MUN may be before of it. But before I had exams, midterms in my education process, and for this reason I didn't have enough time. Or I'm prioritizing firstly education, and after it I will take attention for other activities, including MUN conferences. And my first MUN experience was in the committee UNHRC, and I was a delegate of Morocco. So it was very interesting experience. For in that time I didn't have also basic imagination of the working of the proceeding MUN conferences, and for this reason, so I didn't know what should I say before other delegates. but how can I say, the will of working by myself, yes, and interesting to my profession, to MUN conferences particularly, helped to develop myself for future conferences. And after 10 or 15 days, I took part in my second MUN conference, which was in the territory of another country, neighborhood country, I mean. And in that time, I understand, so yeah, MUN will become part of my life. And I tried, how can I say, tried to study other aspects of it which I didn't know before.
All right, very, very interesting. So basically, you started MUNs in one of your earlier educations, right? So how long has it been since you first started MUN?
How long? My first MUN was 3 days. And I think it was standard program. As we know, first 2 days will be as a form of debates, as a form of introducing to each other, I mean positions of delegates. And the third day will be adopting resolution and cultural program. So cultural program was also interesting. And I think cultural program in the aspect of informal debates will serving, how can I say, where all delegates will know each other more better, and will serving to find points, yeah. So yeah, will serving for finding general points.
All right, sweet. I actually have like this particular question, which is quite prevalent among Indonesian MUNers. So, do you see MUNs as just a conference, or do you also see it as some sort of competition, knowing that we have like some different tiers of awards that we can get in MUNs? Or do you think that getting an award matters a lot in MUNs?
So as I understood, you mean so about positive sides of MUNs, yeah?
Yeah, sort of. The output of MUNs is like you can get an award. Do you think it matters that much that we can get awards in MUNs?
So in my opinion, MUNs so aimed, yes, aimed together delegates from all the world, and how can I say, MUNs may be in the mode of simulation, but helps to know really current situation in the world. And how can I say, by the another side, it helps also for for developing personality of delegates. And In my opinion, yeah, MUNs is one of, so we must, yes, we must conduct these conferences more for by MUN conferences, how can I say, vote will become more better.
All right, sweet. So moving on to the next question, I think, what do you think is the best part of MUNs? What make you like MUN so much that you like join 70 plus of them?
Correct question. In my opinion, the best part of MUN, it is the process when delegates will adopt the final resolution. And when I chaired before, I said about it several times. So final resolution, it is the final product of all delegates. It is a product of collaboration of delegates. And how can I result when all delegates, when all countries in the face of delegates may be in the mode of simulation, but it is a time when they will find, how can I say, find alternative, find one decision for resolving actual problems. And after it, I think maybe it is not important part by opinion some of delegates, but in my opinion, it's also important. I think it is a part of gossip boxes. It is an informal part of MUN when delegates can say about their feelings, yes, without any hesitation.
All right, interesting. I think we have a few questions from the participants, if I recall. Yeah, Habib.
Okay, good night.
Good day.
Okay, thank you so much, Masafi, for your times, and good evening to Mr. Abror. It's like amazing to see you here. So I have a question. How do you build confidence to speak, and how do you get critical thinking in a short time in a conference? Do you make a list of motions and you try to answer them? Then how do you correlate them? Thank you.
Thanks for your question. So, yes, as I mentioned before, MUN conferences actually helps to form critical and analytical thinking skills. For when delegates will debating each other, they will know and both of positive and negative aspects of their suggestions, of their solutions. And in real time, for example, when I will take any decision, I became to find as a positive and as a negative aspects of it. And when, how can I say, so any aspects of it will become more, I will take decision appropriately for it. And MUN, I think it is first step in this process. And I think these skills, it's important not only for MUN, but I think in the whole of our life, yes, till our, how can I say, our end of life. Yeah.
So yeah, I also believe in the process that we must to improving ourselves. So thank you so much.
Mr. Abro, you can just open your mic, speak up, introduce yourself first, and ask your questions, right? Okay, so I think I have another question for you, Abro. So, what motivates you to join like this many MUNs? You have like you said to me that you have 70 plus MUN experiences, right? So what is it that motivates you the most in joining that much conferences?
So could you repeat, please, last sentence? Internet doesn't work.
Oh yeah. I apologize. What is it that motivates you so much that you could join 70 plus MUNs?
7 plus MUN.
Yeah, you told me like you have more than 70 MUN experience, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
And
what's your motivation behind that many conferences?
yeah, and do you mean what was the trigger, yes, for gathering this experience?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think main trigger was related to my profession. And before I had a dream to become a lawyer in criminal field. But now I changed my decision in the favor of international relations. But I think it's one profession, and I think this process of changing my decision, specific field of my activity related with MUN. Moreover, MUN, so for gathering this experience, how we can say, in the period of quarantine, which started in the March of 2020, I thought about my future plans. What should I do for, how can I say, for keep my also language proficiency, my interest for my profession, for our profession related with the communication with others. And in that time I thought MUN can help me for supporting this communication for all time. And in the result, how can I say, I didn't lost, maybe I took more. And actually in the pandemic period, so I took part in many online conferences, and one of reason was related only for supporting communication, for supporting my knowledge, for supporting my language proficiency. And actually, I think I was in correct way, and by the interesting of it, I didn't notice till now. I expect I gather this big experience till now.
All right, interesting. So I believe next we have a question from Rio. Rio, are you able to speak?
Okay. Wait a second.
Okay, so thank you for the given chance for me to ask. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Satria Penerstri from 10 November Institute of Technology. So let me get this right. As we all know, joining MUNs can give a meaningful lessons and impact to our life, maybe like increasing our soft skills and else. So after attending about 75 MUNs in your life, what part of your life may be part of skills that have significantly increased by joining those numerous amount of MUN?
So thanks for your question. So yeah, after this big experience, I took access for taking part. How can I say, for spreading my geography of participation. For example, for instance, I took part in MUN, which held in another neighborhood country in Kyrgyzstan. And in that time, I was as a chair in that conference. And now I have plans to spread the geography of my participation for other countries, and my main goal in MUNs, firstly, not certificates or not, how can I say, any privileges. My first aim, I want to do more friends from another countries. And actually, I think this aim is helping for supporting my interest for proceeding my activity in MUN conferences till now. I think certificates, it's only temporarily factor, and we shouldn't to base only for certificates. Certificates, it confirms only the fact of our participation, but I think we should to all firstly we should, how can I say, we should to do more friends, we should to spread our worldview and to improving our personal skills in these conferences.
Okay, so by joining MUNs, you are more in the expanding your relations with friends instead of focusing more on the getting awards and certificates that you said it's a more of a temporary achievement. Thus, maybe I can take a conclusion that joining MUNs can give us an opportunity to expand our friendships that is more impactful for our life for a longer period of time rather than the temporary certificate. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so I want to ask again. So first, introduce my name. My name is Habib. I'm from chemical engineering, and I believe that MUN Club is one of many ways to build strong character within us. So my question is, what do you think in the first step that we should to take it, and how we build a character that is relevant to the countries that we bring? Thank you.
Habib, can you repeat your last sentence, please?
Okay, and how do you build a strong character that is relevant to the countries that we bring?
strong character for your countries. So, in my opinion, country which you assigned for you, I think it's not main factor which influencing for your participation in MUN, or reversely. So if you know the politics, how can I say, of your country, or if you will introduce with it briefly before conference, I think it was for me also enough. Yeah, and in my opinion, as I mentioned before, if you have critical and analytical thinking skills, don't depending on your country which you assigned for you, you can show your talents in full volume, and I think you can take also any nominations in the process of conferences. But another factor is related with your collaboration skills. So you must find alternatives, you must find general points with other delegates. For in the process of adopting resolution, it requires not only your vote, but vote of other delegates.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr.
All right, sweet. Maybe I want to ask you another question, Abrar. Okay. So, what do you think? Wait. Let me rephrase my question real quick. Do you think that in the future, in your career, for example, is there like any chance that you would be willing to go into voluntary programs like once in UNICEF or UNDP programs, or maybe even be a part of the UN team, maybe as a diplomat or as a staff of the United Nations after your MUN experiences? Like maybe just also take into account your major as well.
To admit, I must to point out, most of my friends said so. Yeah, I should to give applications for international organizations with this experience. And yeah, in future, as I mentioned before, I have inclinations for international relations, and I have this type of plans. But now I am master student, and for this reason I have planned initially to finish my educational process, and maybe in the process of education, if I will have more free time, yeah, I will apply for international organizations too. Why not?
Oh, all right, interesting. So, do you think that MUNs has influenced your possible future careers in any ways? Like maybe you get inspired from joining MUN. Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that because I joined this MUN.
So, possible, yeah. In my opinion, immune experience initially will give me access for taking part for another immune conferences. I think it's first positive aspect, and secondly, yeah, I think it will have, how can I say, it will have, so it will influence, yeah, it will influence for application process for my future work. And I think maybe it will not be international organization, will maybe domestic organization, but I know one thing. So MUN conferences never disturb me, or reversely, they helped me, and I will remember this experience with positive impressions.
All right, interesting, sweet. So we can actually transfer our skills from MUNs into our future careers, correct?
Thank you.
All right. So do you guys have any other questions you want to give to Mr. Abror over here? Or maybe even Abror, you want to like give us a sort of question, like maybe impressions or whatnot about our experiences in MUNs as well? Don't have any more questions, and since it is pretty late as well in Indonesia, maybe we can just wrap up this sharing session for Mr. Abror. So thank you very much, Mr. Abror, for joining us tonight in Indonesia. Of course, we wish you the best of your master degree pursuance, and we hope to see you again, maybe in later conferences, if you are still active in the MUN circuit, that is.
So in the end of my speech, yeah, I want to wish for all of you so success in your future endeavors, and yeah, I recommend you to take part in MUN groups, and for any cooperation or for your any questions, and you can address me in any time, but I will answer when I will have my free time. And so I wish all of you so success in your education process and become the specialist of your profession. And
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Abror. We wish you too a happy, very busy with your studies and all, but yeah, it was glad to be meeting you today.
yeah, have a nice day.
All right, have a nice day too, Mr. Abror. Thank you very much for joining us today. I will send the